In last week's Parsha, Yisro, the Jews finally accepted the Torah. And in this week's Parsha, Mishpatim, we finally delve straight into the nitty-gritty of Torah study. The Parsha is packed with Torah concepts and commandments from beginning to end, with a total of 52 commandments. But I actually want to take us back a few weeks to the beginning, to the very first commandment given to the Jewish people. The commandment of Kiddush HaChodesh, the sanctification of the new moon, of the new month. When someone would see the first sliver of the new moon, he would head to the high court and testify. And with the testimony of two people, they would declare that day the first day of the new month. Okay, so it's one of the 613 commandments. But what is so unique and so special about this mitzvah, that this was the first mitzvah given? What's so special about it? So let's go a little deeper. It's interesting that we determine our months by the ever-changing moon rather than the stable sun. The sun is the paradigm of consistency. Every day, the ball of the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. You can count on the sun. Yet, the Talmud says that we are to focus on the waxing and the waning of the moon, because the Jewish people are compared to the moon. What is it that we share in common with the moon? The answer is renewal. The moon starts off small and dark, and then it gets bigger and brighter, and then it shrinks again. That's 1 month. And then the process begins again. The moon again gets bigger and brighter, and on and on and on. So too the Jewish people, both nationally and individually, are in a constant state of flux. We have low times, and then high times, then low times. But even in the darkest of times, God tied our destiny to the moon. That just as you can be sure that the moon will once again light up the night sky, so too can you be sure that we have the ability to overcome the dark times in our life. There's a prolific educator in England. His name is Rabbi He's involved in a lot of things, a lot of projects. Not long ago, he took out his family. They went out to eat for the afternoon because he wanted them to be together. He was supposed to go the next day to lead a trip to Poland. And so they went out together. They got home a few hours later, and it looked like a hurricane had hit their house. It was pretty clear that they had been robbed. So he went through the house to make sure that that they were safe, nobody was inside. He came back, and his wife said, "So, how bad is it?" He said, "They took everything." And here, he was supposed to be going to Poland the next day, and now he's dealing with police reports and trying to just get their life back together. He wasn't sure what to do, so his colleague, a very good friend of his name was Rabbi Moshe Meyerfeld, Rabbi Eli Meyerfeld's brother. He said to him, in the last moment, he said, "You know what, you've got a lot on your hands, I'll do the trip for you." And that was the plan, but his wife convinced him. She said, "No, they need you on the trip, you've got to lead the trip." And she said, "I'll take care of everything here," and so he decided to go. A little bit late, but he went. So the dilemma that Rabbi Farhi was dealing with was as follows. Here he is. He's on the way to hopefully catching up with the group soon. And he has this gut-wrenching feeling. How is he going to inspire others when he himself is not feeling inspired right now? What's he going to do? So he's thinking, he's trying to snap out of it. No answer. He catches up with the group at Auschwitz, and he meets up with everybody, and at the time a Holocaust survivor had gone on the trip with them, and he was speaking to the group. And so he tells the whole group, he says, "This place right here, this is where I lost everything." The exact same words that Rabbi Farhi had just said to his wife the day or two before. They took everything. He said, "This is where they took everything from me." Bam. Hit him like a brick wall. He realized you know, what just happened? At the end of the day, what happened? I lost some stuff. It was really annoying, but it was stuff. This guy, he's talking about what's really important. And just like that, he had a complete shift in perspective, and he was back to his inspired self again. So in short, the mitzvah of Kiddush HaChodesh, of sanctification of the new moon, is the first mitzvah because it sets the tone for everything. It reminds us that just like the moon is in a constant journey experiencing darkness and brightness and darkness and brightness, so too our journey is the same. And when we hit hard times, when we're going through difficulties, whether it be with work, with relationships, dating, marriage, when we're in those times, we can point to the moon and say, Gam ze yahavor, this too will pass. With hard work, a positive attitude, and help from above, we too will experience renewal. Thank you.